Hello chess friends, I am Aman and welcome back to Master Chess. Today we will see a very exciting game played between a 12-year-old player from India and Vassily Ivanchuk. I have selected this game because the 12-year-old Sreeshwan crushed Vassily Ivanchuk in just a hell of 26 moves. So let's start the game. Sreeshwan is white and opens with 1, d4, c5, d5, knight to f6, c4 and e6. This is known as the Benoni defense. Knight to c3, pawn takes on d5, pawn takes on d5 and now d6, e4, g6 and now f4. Now this f4 move is very interesting because it may have two ideas. First, you may want to achieve the e5 break and white's central pawns are very strong. Second, you may want to play the f5 at the right time to open up lines for our rook to attack after the castling. Now bishop to g7 was played, flanking the bishop, and now bishop to b5 with check. Knight f to d7 blockading the check, and now knight to f3. a6 kicking away the bishop, bishop to d3 and now b5. Here instead of b5 if you castle, white can go for another plan after a4, a5, knight to d2, knight to c4 and white will attack the black's permanent weakness on d6 and the knight can also sit on b6. Therefore b5 was played and now short castles and king to h1. This is a prophylactic move because sometimes black harasses us with the intermediate check on b3 after the move c4. Rook to e8 and now a3. The point being that if you don't stop b4, then after b4 and c4, the e4 pawn would be under pressure. Therefore, now c4, bishop to c2. The difference between moving the bishop to c2 and b1 is if you move the bishop to b1, knight to c5 would come and then you would have to move the bishop back to c2 to stop knight to b3. Therefore, bishop to c2 and knight to c5. Here, knight to d4 was played. This knight is very strong knight because it prevents the development of the b8 knight, as when it will move, our knight will sit on c6 and it said that the knight on the 6th rank is worth even more than the rook. Now bishop to g4 was played, but Vassily Ivanchuk cleverly managed to trade the knight with the bishop. Queen takes g4 and now bishop takes on d4. Now the move f5 was played. Now Sreeshwan is going for the kill, and imagine the pressure guys when you are facing one of the best in the business and going for the attack. Knight b to d7, f takes on g6 and now f takes on g6. In case you did the mistake of taking with the h pawn, then the game would be already over because the blow would come after e5, bishop takes e5 and now a brilliant move, rook takes f7 would income. And after king takes f7, it would be a mate in 5 moves. Queen to g6 check, king to e7, bishop to g5, king to f8, bishop h6 check, king e7 and queen to s7 check, after which black can play king to f6 and queen to g7 would be a checkmate. Therefore, f takes on g6 was played and now e5. Here, Vassily Ivanchuk did the biggest mistake of taking with the bishop, but black could have got a winning position, a better position with bishop takes on c3, and after b takes on c3, he could have gone for knight takes on e5 and now g6 is protected and the queen is attacked. And here after bishop takes c3, if you try and act over smart with bishop takes on g6, then the game would be over because of knight takes on e5. Now bishop to f7 double check is of no use because the king would move on h8. Now therefore you would have to play bishop takes h7 check and now king takes h7, queen to h3 check, king to g8 and after queen takes g3, black has the defensive resource knight to g4. Remember, you are 2 pieces down here and even if you regain 1, black would be better. And here you have 2 options. One, you take this bishop thinking that this knight would be pinned, and other one, you take this knight. First, let's consider taking this knight. If you take this knight with the queen, then bishop to g7 would come and black is complete piece up. Therefore, you might think, why not take this bishop, because this knight is pinned and even if someone gives this support, you can go h3 and win this knight. But that would be wrong. Let me show you how. If you play b takes on c3, black can play queen to d7. And now after h3, he has the defensive resource knight to e4. And here, after queen takes on g4, queen takes g4 and h takes on g4, black has the move. Can you find it? Yes, you are correct. It's a knight to g3 and you lose an exchange. Therefore, after but in the game, bishop takes on e5 was played, but now the game is already over. Bishop takes on g5, g6, h takes on g6, and now queen takes g6. Here, if you go for king to h8, the game is already over after rook to f5, and you would have to give up the queen on h4 to stop the mate. Therefore, bishop to g7 was played, and now queen to f7. Here, you want to go for bishop to g5, but if you play it directly, knight to e5 would be incoming and your pawn would also be hanging. Therefore, Sreeshwan finds this brilliant maneuver with queen to f7 check, king to h8, queen to h5 check, king to g8, and only now bishop to g5. Vassily removed this queen with queen to c8, and now queen to f7 with a check, king h8, and the final nail in the coffin from Sreeshwan, rook to f4, after which Vassily Ivanchuk resigned the game and Sreeshwan got a brilliant victory over him. So friends, I hope you liked this game, and if you did, don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section below and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.